Hello everyone, now you will hear a fast recap of the movie Contraataque from Netflix. Enjoy watching. -1 Mexican men were driving in cars and discussing an important issue: where to eat sandwiches. Suddenly, a pickup truck crashed into them at full speed. The gunman shot at the car, but the comrades did not lose their heads and rammed the bandits in response. Jumping out of the car, they killed all their attackers. Some were shot, some were stabbed. The soldiers armed themselves and took roll call. A few days earlier, Lucy took her younger sister, Carla, to the hospital to have an abortion. On the way, the girl threw up, ran to the side of the road, and saw something terrible. Two friends, Armando and Toca, were drinking in a pub nearby. When they went outside, they saw two sisters standing at the police station and asking for help. However, they were captured by bandits and interrogated about what exactly they saw in the field. Armando decided to intervene and protect the girls. When the situation escalated, Armando shot half of the thugs and put a gun to the head of the main one. Only now the cops came out of the station and pointed their guns at Armand. The man said that he was a soldier and saved the girls from being kidnapped. Armando threw his ID to the chief so that he would believe him. So the dirty cop had to arrest the bandits after all. And Lucia said that they found a mass grave nearby. That's why the cartel wanted to kidnap them. The Mexican army was covering up a mass grave. There were body parts of 10 soldiers tortured and brutally executed by the cartel of Joseph Furios. General Marcela told Secretary Arviz that they would avenge their guys and catch the thugs who did it. The task force will be led by Armando Guerrero. Hasid was watching the news about his crimes and at that time was making waffles for his daughters for breakfast. His brother Roman came to see him, the mustachioed one who had roughed up Armando. He was immediately released because the cartel had bought both the police and the politicians, but they would not be able to come to an agreement with this special forces soldier. He leads the elite bet squad, which had previously eliminated their father. That same day, the bandits broke into the sisters' home and kidnapped them. The Special Forces squad will have to capture Eduardo Medino, nicknamed Pick. He is the weak link in the organization and can hand over Jose Furios in exchange for freedom. He owns the seafood restaurant. It was there that the Bats organized a raid. The Pig was surrounded from all sides and arrested without any problems. The bald one was brought to a motorboat. Hassoff's man was going to kill him from above, but he himself was taken out by the young sniper. Polo the Pig and the other cartel members were handed over to the police. The operation was a success, and the soldiers now hope to go on leave. General Marcelo was pleased with the work of his guys. This is the only way to catch these bastards. In daylight, Armando will not stop until he catches Hassoff, but due to bureaucratic red tape, he can go on vacation with his comrades for now. Hassoff himself met with the corrupt politician Arviz. He received money from the cartel and handed over a phone with which the bandits can track Captain Armando's mobile phone. Their meeting was filmed by Roman so that they would have dirt on the politician. His brother instructed him to deal with Armando. Good for Dad, the cartel chose a good time to attack. Armando had a day off, although they did not know that the captain was going to rest with the other members of the squad. That's how they encountered an armed group in the middle of the road. It was an ambush. The soldiers pulled the bulletproof vests off the dead bandits and took all the weapons. Now they are well armed and can fight off the reinforcements that have arrived. The soldiers ran into the forest and took up a position behind some rocks. Roman's squad is firing at them with automatic rifles. The bandit ordered them to run forward. The soldiers took advantage of this and eliminated 3 of them. A few more aim shots and all the reinforcements went to the next world after their buddies. Roman was seriously wounded and hid behind a car. He shot out the tires of another car and threw a grenade with his last strength, after which he called his brother and asked him to avenge him. Armando hoped to find out who turned them in, but the mustachioed bandit died before their eyes. It was Jose Furios' brother, which means that soon there will be a lot of thugs here. They are here in full view, so they need to get away from the highway. Armando requested evacuation and reported where he and the squad would be in 6 hours. Now they won't be able to wait for reinforcements. The bandits will arrive earlier. Pasif actually arrived at the scene of the massacre in a few minutes. First the bats killed his father and now his brother. "I love you, bastard. I love you, brother." Pasif has already called the rabid dogs. This is a dangerous group, consisting mainly of former military men. The authority has an advantage. He knows where his enemies are heading. The squad is moving to El Paso, along the river. Polo smeared his white sweatshirt with mud to make it less noticeable. The guy is the best sniper in the team, so he opened fire on the pursuers. Of the 9 people, only 7 survived. But the forces are still not equal, so they had to retreat. Moreover, they have little ammunition left to conduct a firefight. The military dispersed and set up an ambush. Armando made 2 accurate shots. Polo took out another bandit from behind. Now the criminals had to hide, but the remaining YX were already waiting for them in the bushes. Unfortunately, Polo was shot. However, the wound was light. 3 soldiers came out of the bushes. The experienced tank was wounded in the head. Combo heated up the barrel of the rifle and cauterized his comrade's wound. Hayes wanders through the forest in the company of mercenaries. Of the 9 people sent ahead, only the Cobra returned to him. Armando guessed that they could be tracked through their phones, so he collected their mobile phones from the entire squad. Hassan came across the bodies of his men, who were laid out in a row on the ground. The soldiers left their phones here, so the authority figure lost his main trump card today. They have already killed 18 of his men, so the mercenaries must certainly find them and kill them. Mad dogs drag heavy boxes through the forest, but the YX are also slowed down. The tanks need frequent breaks. Paul is very sorry for his new sneakers. Today he put them on for the first time. Armando kept the late Roman's phone and found a recording with a corrupt politician there. Now it's clear who betrayed them. No time to rest. It's time to head to the Alpaca checkpoint again. Soon they came across a bandit base. On their way, the military will be able to find ammunition there and replenish their supplies. The dogs managed to track down the soldiers, thanks to a bloody trail that Polo accidentally left. After bandaging them, the squad ran up to the Salmo. The stormtroopers are covered by Polo's sniper. They opened the door and killed everyone in the room. There was another one in the next room. The soldiers eliminated him. The bandits were also holding naked, tied up women Lucia and her sister Carla. They are in a state of shock. The combo doctor examined the exhausted victims. The military found a decent arsenal of weapons. They need to think carefully about their next steps now. They are not alone and are responsible for 2 civilians. The soldiers have equipped themselves and stocked up on ammunition. The girls also had to put on bulletproof vests. The curse weighs a ton. At first you hate the damn vest, until one day it saves your life. The squad left the building and moved towards the forest, but Carlo was immediately shot. They will have to return to the house to ensure retreat. Kakin threw a grenade at the enemies, and Polo was wounded again. This time in the leg. Mad dogs fired at the house, but the special forces had a much better position, and soon the 3 mercenaries went to the next world. Carla was saved by the bulletproof vest, which she did not like at first. Combo was also wounded during the shootout. It is unknown how much longer they will be able to hold the defense. There are too many enemies. Cobra led the squad to an underground passage. With its help, the criminals delivered drugs to the house. The women also took up arms. Armando quickly taught them how to handle guns. Paul is bleeding. Combo ran up to the guy and shoved a healthy piece of bandage right into his wound. That was the only way to stop the bleeding. Finally, the mercenaries got what was in the boxes: the K2 heavy machine guns. Our heroes could only lie down on the floor and pray that they wouldn't get hit. The house was riddled with 4 barrels, and when it was time to change the bell, the military launched a counterattack. They took out 2 shooters and threw a grenade at the rest. Tank fired from the street, and when retreating, he took a bullet from Hasif. The authority ordered the mercenaries to storm, after which he also took out Combo, but only 1 mercenary managed to run to the house. And during the hand-to-hand combat, Vancil stabbed Joaquin in the leg. Fortunately, Carlo covered his comrade. Hasif stood behind the machine gun. He ordered that he be brought cartridges, but Armando took out the mercenary. Tank was also left without ammunition. The emboldened Carlo decided to bring him the cartridges. Meanwhile, the rest of the group was moving along the underground tunnel. Carla saw that the tanks were bleeding and was going to call a doctor. But then a cobra crawled out of the basement. They and the tanks fired at each other with the last of his strength. Wayako approached the pit and threw a grenade in. Part of the house blew up. Tanky died heroically, taking the rest of the enemy squad with him. Only Hasiavuria, who was still hiding behind the logs, remained alive. He managed to hit Pole in the neck, and the guy choked on his own blood. And now the authority is ready to surrender. He came out of hiding with his hands up and threw the weapon on the ground. Hasiv laughs because he will do just fine, even in prison. Armando ordered his men to calm down and not shoot. Do you want to shoot yourself, scientist? Go away. No, we have honor. Armando sorted things out with his fists. With the bandit, Hasiv beat up the captain and pulled out a knife, but the commander stuck the blade into his leg and then broke the crime boss's arm. A couple more blows and Hasiv was knocked out. Armando would like to slit his throat, but the bandit won't get off that easy. The captain will make sure Hasiv answers for everything. Army helicopters arrived here in the morning. That's how 5 Mexican soldiers unraveled the entire gang and captured its leader. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, my friend.